All right, Sage is going to give his review there of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4. Let us know how it is, Sage.
Well, it killed my PS5. No, total happenstance. This just happened to be what I was playing when that went down. But so this is not the same studio that did the One Plus Two remake back in 2020. That was, I believe, Vicarious Visions, which I don't think really exists anymore. This is developed by a studio called Iron Galaxy. But if you didn't know that, and you go in, it kind of slips into the same feel. I mean, they do a really good job of making it feel consistent with the last remake. And to be upfront, I play a lot of games. I think I tend to be pretty good at a lot of these. This game sometimes makes me feel like I have just like no motor skills. Like I am failing and falling all over the place here. But nonetheless, still having a really good time with it. This game brings just that same great kind of modern visual update to all of the levels here. It's all the same levels that you remember from Pro Skater 3, Pro Skater 4. Now, I had the most nostalgia for Pro Skater 3 back in the day. Definitely spent the most time with it. It's really cool to see these levels recreated. Um, Now, with 3, that's basically the same thing as the 1 plus 2 remake, right? It's the same levels, the same kind of 2-minute timer, the goals. 4 is where it gets a little weird because the original Pro Skater 4 was the first Tony Hawk game that broke from the formula. And that one didn't have a timer on these levels really. Like you had a bunch of NPCs that you'd kind of roll around, go up to. You get like a side quest from them, and then you do like a little quest almost. And that was then kind of further evolved in like the Tony Hawk Underground games, which I personally have not played, but that really was like a whole story mode, right? You can get off the board, walk around. That really kind of turned into like more of a world. But 4 in this remake is treated like 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of the levels are kind of structured around the 2-minute timer and just having like the list of goals. So some people that if 4 was like your favorite back in the day, and I've seen this reaction, some people are not going to love how this game kind of completely restructures all of the stuff from 4. Now, for me, I actually kind of prefer it this way just because I like that format better. But if you're a big fan of the original 4, this game might irk you a little bit because it's not the same game exactly. It's the same environments and you're obviously still skateboarding and there are goals, but it is changing the format of what 4 was to such a degree that I could definitely see that rubbing some people the wrong way. Um, Stock soundtrack here too. Big part of these games was the music. The 1 plus 2 remake got like 85-90% of its soundtrack back, and that was really great. Threw some new songs in there too. This game is not as successful as that was on that level. Now, there's still some great stuff. AC/DC's Ace of Spades is still like the theme song. They got that back. Uh, I
Oh, it's
believe there's still
ACDC
what's up?
doing like a cover of Ace of Spades?
Oh, no, my bad. What was the band?
Motorhead?
Motorhead. My bad. Yeah, I just had the wrong. No, it's Motorhead. I just misspoke there. But it's still the original version of that. It still comes up when you boot up the game. It's still the original kind of theme song for it. So you still have a good number of songs that are from the original, but it's honestly it's close to something maybe only 40% of the original soundtrack. And they put some new stuff in there that does fit. It does feel organic. It does feel natural to be part of this game. But it does not feel like as complete of a recreation as 1 plus 2 did. Not enough to say turn me off the game or anything like that. I think this is still a lot of fun. It's still a great soundtrack. But it definitely like you're not going to be getting that full nostalgia hit with that you might be looking for. Um, Cool thing they do though is there's actually one in particular, but a couple of like brand new things in here, like new secret areas, one whole new level that is this like you see it in the trailer a little bit there. It's like inside of a giant pinball machine. Got Tony Hawk playing the pinball machine, looking down at you like he's God or something. That's a lot of fun, really cool level, very vibrant, bright colors. And this goes one step above the last remake where you could max out, and I did this, you get complete every single goal in every level, and a whole nother set of goals opens up. So like really get a lot, I think, more even out of like the replayability of it than before. Um, you got some good stuff here as far as like your kind of create a park, create a skater functions. That's always been a part of these games. I think it's done as well here as ever. Um, Kind of a weird thing though. If you make if you like do a create a park, you can't like play multiplayer on like your own custom parts. I find that to be a little strange. Can't imagine it was like that hard to make that a thing, but whatever. And then the other thing is, I think, as like a negative here, the multiplayer is just really bare bones and basic. There's like a game mode that's kind of just like a horse type thing. There's sort of a just get the highest score type thing. There's a couple game modes. I tried them. I played a few rounds, but honestly, I feel like the multiplayer aspect to this is its weakest aspect, and that was kind of true for the 1+2 remake as well. It just feels like they're not trying to do all that much with that. Like I feel like you could do more, more game modes, more again, let your custom park have some multiplayer to it. It doesn't really seem to make sense that you wouldn't be able to. Um, but I mean, all in all, this game is pretty successful at what it's doing, which is just trying to bring these up to a modern standard, give you that nice recreation. Um, I3 was always my favorite, so this game gets a little bit of nostalgia points for me based on that. I loved getting to kind of go back into these levels and recreate some of that fun from my childhood. And I think if you haven't played the originals, I think these are very tight, very fun games. That this could be your first one, or the 1+2 remake could be your first one. It doesn't necessarily require any familiarity to get into it. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I'd probably give it just like a very, very, very high tune in.
Okay. And what about the we saw in the trailer bonus characters, Doom guy?
Oh, yes, yes.
Uh,
So that's actually really great. So one of my criticisms of the 1+2 remake was that I felt like there's a couple hidden characters in there, but the original Pro Skater 2 had like Spider-Man in it and like all these different versions of Spider-Man, like the symbiote costume and all this different stuff, and they actually had different animations for it. So that was kind of disappointing in the last one. This one does rectify that a bit more. The Doom Slayer, he was in the original version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the PC, so he's actually a returning character, which is cool that they were able to get him back in again. You also get the Revenant, which is one of the monsters from Doom. You get to play as him, and then you do have to buy like a separate kind of deluxe edition DLC for those though. But just worked into the base game is Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. You could just buy him from the shop, like no special thing. No, you don't have to buy him as DLC or anything like that. He's just in the game. Really great. It's his character model from the recent film that had the kind of Spider-Verse animation one. I forget the title. Was it Mutant Mayhem? Was that it?
yeah,
Yep,
Mutant.
it's that version. Honestly, he's great. I probably spent most of the time I played this game playing as him. Tried a few of the other characters out, but it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat that. Um, and so it's still not like the original Pro Skater threes, 3 and 4 if you count them together. You had Wolverine, Darth Maul, Jango Fett, and Shrek. So you didn't get any of those back, but they did have a couple other cool ones. So it's they're doing it. I still wish you could maybe get all those other old licenses in here, but I get why that's just maybe not feasible these days.
Yeah. So you can't just like buy them. You got to buy like the deluxe edition to get some of the other ones, or can you buy them like buy
For
them?
the Doom stuff specifically, for
Oh,
the Michelangelo, the whole all the then there's even like a little secret area that's kind of his like a half pipe in the sewers. That's also just hidden in a level. But that's just in the game. And there's a couple other like secret unlockable characters. Jack Black was in the last one. You could there's a secret Jack Black character you can unlock. So there's stuff that you can just unlock that you do not have to pay extra money for. It's just specifically the Doom expansion stuff that is DLC.
okay. And that kind of brings me to another question. So no microtransactions, none of that stuff here and there.
No, no, other than just those couple characters, that's it. And you get all the levels, all the you even get, like I said, you get an extra series of like goals and stuff even after you beat everything. So like there's a lot here. I mean, it feels like the games are intact. It doesn't feel like they're cutting pieces of them out to try and sell to you. Again, with the exception of those couple extra bonus characters, but I feel like that's you. I feel like a game can get away with just doing like, hey, here's a one DLC pack, a couple characters. Everything else is in there though. Like I feel like that's pretty good for the gaming world of today.
Okay, very nice there. Um, so are there plans for another Tony Hawk Pro Skater? Are they going to do like their own original game, or are they going to keep trying to do remakes? Or
We'll see. They did a Pro Skater 5 in like the mid 2010s, and I never played it, but I pretty much heard universally that it was terrible. So I'm sure they probably don't want to remake that since the original version is not looked at favorably. But I think I mean, I'd be interested in seeing a brand new game. I mean, like I said, that pinball machine level is like that's a new level. That's not from anything. That's a whole new level that was made just for this remake, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite levels in the game. So they've kind of earned my trust as far as can they make a new level that is fun. And then on top of that, I think that the as far as a remake goes, there are the two Tony Hawk's Underground games, which were the ones that kind of pushed slightly more complex like mission structure and having like a world you could run around and NPCs and quests and stuff. So I've heard Tony Hawk himself say that if that's what he's going to really push for there to be a remake of next.
okay,
And those games, I've never played the originals, so if a remake comes out, they'd be very fresh for me. So it'd be interesting to kind of dive into them. But I've heard a lot of people say that those are their favorite Tony Hawk games because it expanded so much and added so much to what you could do with them.
gotcha. Okay. And how much did you pay for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 plus 4?
Oh, so this game is only retailing for 49.99.
Okay.
It's an extra $20 if you want like the special edition that comes with like the Doom guy and the whatnot. But just like Expedition 33 or the new Mafia game, this is just the regular version. It's another 49.99 price point. So just kind of adds to that pile of games that are very thankfully kind of realizing that you can have a smaller scope at a smaller price and still deliver a quality product. And I think that's really great.
And you can get it on pretty much every console, PC as well. I don't know how it plays on the Switch or the Switch 2, but I don't know how it plays
I think
there.
it's on Game Pass if you have Xbox too.
Okay, so it's on Game Pass if you got Xbox. That's pretty cool. If you still got PlayStation 4, it's on PlayStation 4. There, I didn't even know they
There you
still
go.
make PlayStation 4 there still. Um,
There's too many things still coming out on the PS4, but that's a whole other conversation.
there. Special guest skaters. I didn't know that you could be Birdman there. You could be that. You could do that.
That's like a like basically do everything in every level kind of unlock sort of thing.
Okay, you got Jack Black there, who is Constable Richard, Officer
Yeah.
Dick. Is that character
Yeah.
from like his movie or like a movie or something? Or
No, it's just a Tony Hawk reference. He's
oh,
just Jack Black has just appeared as this kind of police character in a couple of the games. It's just a weird running gag that they have.
oh, okay. Good reviews. Metacritic there. Right now you got on PlayStation 5, which is what you played on. 82 out of 100. So it's got good solid reviews there for that. Good soundtrack you said, so that's also a plus there with this game as well. Um,
Fundamental, man. Fundamental to this.
yeah. Is there somewhere you can just get just the soundtrack? Maybe it's on Spotify. Maybe probably.
Ooh, that I'm actually not sure about. I haven't checked yet, but I hope that there's a Spotify soundtrack of the original game soundtrack too. Because, like I said, they don't quite get all of it the way that the last game did.
Okay. So high tune in. You said for Tony Hawk's
Yeah,
Pro
I
Skater.
tuned it. I mean, for me, I have a lot of nostalgia for the game. Really like it. Really like the remake. It won't be the game I spend, an indefinite amount of time on. I think there's a lot of people who are going to pick this up and they're just going to continue to play this practically forever. And I think the game does allow you that opportunity, and it gives you enough to kind of keep going back to it. And there's really good replay value. I probably put like 15 hours in, and I was like, yeah, I feel pretty satisfied by that. I think I'll move on. Then again, also my PS5 died, so I had to move on.
Okay, so high praise from Sage. High tune in there for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, available on every console there and PC. You can check it out now, $49.99. It's a good price there. And Game Pass. If you don't want to pay that price, on Game Pass. Awesome.